Hey guys, what is up? My name is Frozen. Welcome to the FrozenBob channel. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Today we're going to be learning how to make this YouTube thumbnail for this video. I thought it'd be a fun thing to do as an example on how to use the text layer. So let's get started. Go to File, New, and the dimensions we're going to be using for this project is 1280 by 720 pixels at 300 resolution, and the background I'm just going to keep white because we are going to be concentrating on just using the basic functions in text. So first things first, let's write down something. So hit T on your keyboard to shortcut to the text tool, and then type in your favorite word. Mine is invisible at the moment because my text is white. So we will change that in a second. So I'm gonna go back to our pointer tool and reset that, and then go to Window, Character, and here I can actually change the color of my word. And bam, I have a typo. Let's put that back in there. And now we have our favorite word, or one of my favorite words. Just came to mind right now. Keep that character menu open. This will be very useful for us in the future to manipulate our words. So let's just run through the basic tools here. This is just to change the size of your words, all similar to using Word. That should be very familiar to everyone. This here is to change the separation between lines of text. So in Photoshop, when you go to your next line of text, it'll space out differently if you change this. So let me give you an example. Ooh, I made another layer. My goodness, sometimes when you don't click on the word completely with the text button on, it'll just make a new text layer. So let's click on the word this time, go to the end of it and click enter. And now you'll see there's another line for text here. So let's write down a blatant lie. See how the distance between this is really close. So to change that, we can go here and increase it by just holding down and dragging it to the right, and we can change it. Did I spell awesome wrong, guys? Oh my gosh. Just paying attention. It still looks wrong. Still looks wrong, but it's okay. We're going to change that in a second anyway. This is just an example with my awful grammatical. Is there an E? Oh my gosh, guys. So anyway, back to the task at hand here. And if you drag to the right or to the left, you can make it even shorter. You can blend in the words here. So yeah, if your words are just disappeared like that, it might be because this is way too high. Sometimes that happens if you're doing a project and the letters are really big. Let's have it at a normal, decent spacing. Yeah, that's good. Here, metrics, I never mess with that, and neither should you. If you want, I don't know. I don't use that. Next tool here is the kerneling tool, where you can separate the spacing between each of the letters, and you can actually go in and highlight specific letters to kernel a certain amount. So let me show you that. So click the T button on your keyboard to shortcut to the text tool. Click on something you want to kernel specifically, like I want to kernel the E. So I will increase that to 300. Now you'll see it has increased. It's kind of tricky. You have to make sure where you're kerneling, you're grabbing the right spot. So if you select a letter, it'll increase the distance behind it. You can also do it with spaces too. So say I want the space between Frozen and Bob to be increased, I could just increase the space. So this is useful just in case you have some words that are too close, or some letters that are too close. Sometimes they're typing a word in and the R is a little bit closer to the O than the other letters. It happens sometimes, and that's one way you can adjust it. Here we have the tools to increase the stretch of these letters, and then also to squish them down. And this tool does the same, except for horizontally, makes them wide, makes them narrow. And you can also go back and individually select the letters to stretch them in the document. So hit T and then select the text layer, and then you can select the letters, which ones you want to be long, which ones you want them to be short. Oh, let's not have them at 0 though. And up here you can change it to different fonts, your letters, and you can also highlight, different letters, and it'll change it to the ones you want. A lot really similar to Word. If you've ever used it, this is pretty much the same thing. Here we have some more tools from Word, basically, to bold, italicize, and this one is cool because it makes all the lowercase and all caps, but it keeps the same size. I still think awesome is spelled wrong, guys. It's bothering me so much, but we will delete that and write the thing we saw earlier from the example. So let's move this down to the side here and make a new text layer, and let's call this how to use text. Wow, why do I keep spelling? I have a test, I guess, coming up soon, guys. How to use text in Photoshop, exclamation point. And let's move that over here. And earlier you saw that they were in different colors, so let's hit T and then select a word and then change that to red. Now we have that in red. Let's change Bob to white here. And then we will go and put some drop shadows into our layers so they don't look so flat. Right now everything is looking so flat. The word Bob is totally gone from Frozen. So let's double click on the FrozenBob layer so we can get the Bob back in Frozen. So when you're here at the layer styles, you want to switch from blending options, drop down to drop shadow, and it will automatically checkmark it. And here you can do a lot of different things. For this tutorial, we're not going to mess with everything too much. We're just going to go through the basic stuff. But here you can change the blending options. Right now it doesn't really matter since the background is white. And I'm going to keep the color of the shadow the same, but you can go back here and change to the different colors that are available, but we're just going to keep it black because shadows are black. Okay, so below that we have the opacity. You can change how dark you want how transparent you want your shadows to be. We're going to keep it, relatively grayish in the grayish area. Here you can change the distance for your shadows, how far away from the words you want them to be. Here's the spread of the shadows. If you have them really big, they're going to look like that. But usually I have the spread super low. And the size basically changes how sharp the shadows is. And I'm going to keep it pretty soft for this one. One cool feature is the angle. And usually I have the global light turned off so I can individually change the angle of different elements within the layer styles. And we're going to keep this at 45. And the cool part about using global light is that if you check it off and you change it, say, let's change it to 45, and then you go to emboss, bevel and emboss, it'll use the same angle for that layer. But usually I have it off. Say I change this to 90, now you'll go back and the global light should still be 45 because that's what I chose before I unchecked it. So let's make that 45-degree angle and change the emboss a little bit because it is a little bit strong. So you can go here, you can make it beveled or embossed. We're going to do pillow emboss for this example. We're not going to have it too strong here. The size, we're going to have it relatively, everything small, just nice and subtle. I think that looks good. Hit OK. So now you can see there's a big difference between this, flat, can't even see the white colors in that. And when you turn on the effect, you can see how you can, everything sticks out a lot better. You can see everything a lot better. So now we have to do the same effect to the how to use text in Photoshop layer right here. So double click on that. And the cool part is it's going to use our same settings from last time. So check mark, drop shadow, and hit the check mark for bevel and emboss. And we are done. Everything looks good. So let's add a little bit color because I did put a little bit of a blue shape behind FrozenBob. So I'm going to draw a rectangle here, a blue rectangle, and I'm going to put this behind the FrozenBob layer so it's not blocking it from view. and double click on it and add a drop shadow. And let's add a bevel and emboss because reasons. So yeah, I think that's a good amount, guys. Experiment with this. Yeah, just these tools are basically the ones I usually use for all of my Photoshop projects and all of that. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, like this video, hit the thumbs up button. It really helps a lot. And if you want to see videos like this in the future, guys, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. I will see you guys later.